everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be here for a 30-minute yoga flow. So today I really wanted to focus on this idea of opening up and closing into this idea of expanding and then contracting the body. So we're going to be doing a lot of heart opening, making the body as big and expansive as we can, and then hugging it all in, making ourselves really small. So that's kind of the idea that I want to go forward with for class today. So before we start, as usual, grab anything you might need, so whether it's blocks, props, blankets, whatever you might need for the next 30 minutes to make yourself as comfortable as possible. If you want to grab any blankets for Shavasana, feel free. Otherwise, just grabbing a nice comfortable seated position, closing the eyes, and then we're going to take a few deep breaths, just coming into the room, coming into your space. Letting go of any tensions, anything that's been happening at the start of your day, anything that might be worrying you at the end of your day. Just coming into your body, coming into the space in your practice, really mindful and really present. Just breathing in and out through the nose. So if you want to do ujjayi breathing, so that's where you kind of constrict the back of your throat a little bit. So it's kind of like you're trying to fog up a little bit of glass in front of you. So that's the sound you're trying to create. That's just kind of helping to lengthen and deepen the breath. And if you don't know what that is, or if you're a bit bunged up, or you just prefer to breathe in and out through the mouth, or in through the nose, out through the mouth, I invite you to do that. Most important thing here is that you breathe deeply throughout your full practice. Whenever you're ready, just gently fluttering the eyes open. So we're going to extend the arms all the way up. You're going to interlace the fingers, and then you're going to turn the palms of the hands so that they're facing up towards the ceiling. So it should feel really nice in the shoulders, especially if you've been at a computer all morning. So extending up, pushing the palms all the way up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to round the back. You're going to take the arms forward, pushing the back towards the edge of your mat. Really rounding in here. Inhaling, we're going to extend it all the way up, opening up through the chest, pushing those arms up, really working through those arms. Exhale, we're going to take it all the way down, rounding the back, pushing the arms away. Still trying to keep the elbows a little bit soft here, bringing the chin in towards the chest. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Exhaling, rounding the spine, coming in, tucking the chin in. Inhaling, expanding through the chest. Last time, curling in. Inhale to come all the way back up. Releasing the arms down. Just give the shoulders a little roll backwards here. And then we're going to come up to standing. So we're going to come up via downward dog, or you can just jump straight to the top of your mat if you're going to go. So rolling forwards over the shins, planting the hands nice and deep here. Stepping the feet back and just pedaling through the feet. So you're taking the sit bones up towards the ceiling here. Pedaling through the feet, so pushing one heel into the ground, coming up onto the toes of the opposite foot. Switching sides, just being really gentle on the hamstrings here if you're feeling a little bit tight. Bending the knees as much as you need to. And switching sides again. Coming up onto the toes of both feet, coming up onto the very tippy tip toes, and then we're going to send both heels down towards the ground, really pushing into those active hands. And breathing deeply here. So from here we're going to take the gaze towards the hands. We're just going to walk the feet into the hands, bending the knees as much as you need to. Grabbing the crooks of the arms, we're just going to sway side to side here. Straightening into one leg, and then bending the other. Should feel really nice, just releasing the neck and the head, just letting everything ragdoll, just keeping it nice and loose and letting everything hang out here. We're going to drop the arms, you're going to bend the knees and roll all the way up. Coming all the way up to standing, rolling the shoulder heads back. and down a couple more times just like that, rolling the shoulders up and back, and all the way down. Last time, rolling the shoulders up and back and down. I'm going to bring them forwards, doing it in the opposite direction, really trying to make a big circle here with the shoulders, as big a shoulder movement as you can, and releasing it down, just shaking it out. So we're going to come into a standing side bend here. So you're going to take the arms all the way up, so feet can be hip width apart. You're going to grab the right wrist with the left hand, step in the right foot across the left. We're going to extend the arms all the way over towards the left, taking the hips towards the right. Just keeping the head nice and relaxed. You can look down at the floor if that feels comfortable. Switching sides, so this time taking the arms all the way up. I'm going to grab the left wrist this time with the right hand, stepping the left foot all the way over, coming onto the ball of the foot. Extending the arms over towards the right, hips towards the left, and taking the gaze down. Should feel really nice. And then releasing it out, shaking the hands, releasing all the shoulders out. So we're going to come into eagle, and we're going to do a little bit of eagle into warrior two. So I'm going to do it face on so that you can see. We're going to take the arms out shoulder height. So I want you to wrap the right arm underneath the left, so you're coming like this. And then taking the palms of the hands onto the shoulder head, so like you're giving yourself a really big hug in, so this might feel really nice. You might just want to stay here because you're giving yourself a hug and it feels really good. Alternatively, you can take the backs of the hands together. So this is coming into eagle arms here. If you're feeling really flexible in the wrists, you may even go palm to palm. So this is eagle arms. And then we're going to step the left toes all the way over the right, just like we did in that side bend here. And you're going to sink the hips down a little bit, so as if you're coming into this little chair here. So there's a lot going on in the arms here, so remember, if it's feeling a little bit tense or you don't know what you're doing with your arms, doesn't feel comfortable, just giving yourself a hug in. So making sure you're at the top of your mat while you're here, just sinking it in, so you want to push the arms up and away and sinking in towards the feet. So the left leg is crossed over the right there, sinking down. So from here we're going to step back with the left leg into warrior two. So keeping the arms where they are for the moment, you're going to lift the left leg all the way up, sending it all the way back, and then you're going to wing the arms all the way out, coming into warrior two. So you feel really nice, really opening up the body after being all constricted in that eagle pose there. So taking the arms out shoulder height, making sure that the front knee isn't shooting too far over the ankle, and your back leg is nice and active here. Taking the gaze over that front middle finger. You should feel both legs working as if you're stretching the mat between your feet. So active feet, active arms. Taking an inhale here, and as you exhale we're going to reverse that warrior, so taking the back hand onto the left leg, tipping the right arm all the way up, gazing towards the palm of the hand. Inhaling, coming back to centre, exhaling, taking that right arm onto the shin, onto the thigh there, and extending up with those left fingertips. Inhaling, coming back to warrior two. So from here we're going to bring the palms of the hands in together. We're going to turn to face the front of the mat, coming up onto the ball of the back foot there. And then we're just going to step very, very lightly towards, so we're bringing both feet together, stepping all the way in. If you want, you can lift that knee all the way up, and then send it down to meet the other one. Rolling the hips out, shaking the arms. Should feel really nice. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're going to come into eagle again, so taking the arms out in front of you. So this time we're bringing the left arm underneath the right, taking the palms of the hands onto the shoulder blades, giving yourself a nice big hug all the way in. And then from there, if you want, you can come into eagle arms, so taking the backs of the hands together first. And then if you like, you can take the palms together if that feels accessible. So from here, making sure you're at the front of the mat, we're going to step the right foot, so sinking down a little bit first, stepping the right foot over that left there, coming onto the tippy toes or the ball of the foot, sinking in with the feet, extending up through the arms. So there's a lot going on in this posture here, so we're just going to hold it for a few breaths, seeing what's going on. Maybe that heart rate's going up a little bit. Breathing deeply. And then from there, we're going to step back to warrior two again, so keeping the palms of the hands together, or backs of the hands together, or hugging the shoulder heads in. You're going to step back to the right foot, so bringing the right knee all the way up, lightly tipping forward, stepping that right foot all the way back, winging the arms all the way out, coming into that nice warrior two again. So this time you're facing the right edge of your mat, opposite side. And again, thinking strong through the legs, really bending into that front leg. You should feel a little bit of fire here in that front thigh. Taking the gaze over that middle finger. Staying here for a few breaths. Bringing a little bit of weight into the arms, a little bit of strength. They're not just hanging out here as if you're like pushing down on some invisible balloons there that are trying to push your arms up. You want to push them down. Keeping an active resistance there. On your next inhale, we're going to drop the back hand, reversing that warrior, tipping up with the left hand, gazing all the way up towards the left fingertips there. Exhaling, coming back to warrior two. Inhaling, taking that forearm onto that front thigh there, extending up with the right fingertips. Really reaching over in this side angle pose, so as if there's a straight line from the very base of that back foot all the way up to the fingertips of the right hand. Coming back to warrior two, bringing the palms of the hands in towards the heart centre. So you're going to turn onto the ball of that front foot. So you're either stepping the right foot in to meet the left, or you're going to step up with the right knee lifted. Whichever feels more accessible and whichever your balance feels like it can cope with today. So we're inhaling, stepping all the way up, raising that knee if we can, and then stepping it down to meet the other one. Good job. So we're going to give it a shake out. Releasing all that tension, releasing anything, shaking it out. Perfect. So from here we're going to extend the arms all the way up. Exhaling, sticking in the lower tummy, folding forwards. Inhaling, bringing the hands to shins, spine nice and long. Exhaling, planting hands, stepping back, come into plank pose here. So high plank. So you can either drop your knees, we're going to lower halfway down, so if you're feeling a little bit like this is a lot of strain on the wrists, dropping the knees is fine. Otherwise, knees lifted, we're going to lower halfway down. Turning over the feet, inhaling, upward facing dog. Really opening through the shoulder heads here. Exhaling, turning over the feet, downward facing dog. So really pushing the palms of the hands into the floor, pushing the heels down towards the floor. You might not reach the floor, that's okay. As long as you're getting a nice little stretch in the hamstrings there. And if you're feeling a little bit tight, feel free to bend the knees a little bit. So from here we're going to step forward with the right foot. So we're going to come into a low lunge, so if you've got any issues with your knee, you might want to either fold under the side of your mat, give yourself a little extra padding, or you can place a blanket or a jumper, whatever you've got that's soft, a cushion, underneath that knee there. So we're going to extend the arms all the way up, coming into this nice low lunge, sinking into that hip there. And then we're going to tip it back into runner's lunge, so we're going to rock on that front heel, sending the hips all the way back, winging the arms all the way back, keeping the toes tucked under. We're going to inhale, come all the way forward into that nice low lunge. Exhaling, sending it all the way back. Inhaling, coming all the way forwards. So thinking about that, closing in, and then when we come all the way up into that lunge, extending, opening up through the heart centre. One more time, exhaling. And inhaling, coming all the way up. Taking the hands, we're going to frame that front foot. We're just going to step straight back to downward facing dog. Sending the hips nice and high. Taking a breath here before we do the other side. So stepping through with the left leg. Making sure that you've got a good foundation before coming down onto that back knee there. So coming down onto the right knee. So if this works a little bit into the back of that right foot. So if you're feeling that your toes are cramping, you can flatten the back foot. Or if you want a nice little plantar stretch, keeping the toes tucked under. Inhaling, coming all the way up, sinking the hips down, opening that heart. Keeping the hands open, shoulder height, shoulder width. Nice and high there. We're going to tip it back, rolling on that front heel, coming all the way into that runner's lunge, coming forwards. Inhaling, coming all the way up, opening the heart centre. Exhaling, folding it all the way in, closing it in there. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Exhaling, folding it in. So thinking about that contraction, and then inhaling, coming up and thinking about the expansion. Couple more times. Exhale, taking it back, winging those hands back. Inhaling, rolling all the way forwards. Exhaling, coming back. Inhaling, coming all the way forwards, taking the hands all the way up there. Perfect. So now we're going to take the hands down, we're going to frame that front foot. We're going to step back to downward facing dog again. So lifting the back knee up, we're going to step it back. And again, just seeing what's going on in the hips here. So just pedaling through the feet a little bit. Seeing what's going on. So from there, we're going to step forward to an easy seated position. So stepping through with the right leg first, followed by the left leg, or you can drop the knees and swing the legs round. Whichever feels most comfortable for you. So making sure you've got a nice tall spine here. We're going to walk the hands all the way forward, so we're coming into a nice little seated forward fold here. So if your forearms can go on the ground, that's great. If you're close enough to the floor, you might want to bring your head all the way down. So if your forehead's a little bit close to the floor but not really, you can take a block or a cushion and you can start to play with the heights and see what's going on, seeing if you can reach the head towards the floor. Making sure that wherever you are, it's comfortable in your neck, so it might not feel comfortable to take your head all the way down, so that's okay. Just taking cues from your body and seeing what is going on in the body. And seeing where the limits are and where you can maybe make a little bit of space with the breath. Breathing deeply. So pushing into the palms of the hands, making sure that that sit bone is kind of edging down towards the ground. You don't want to be lifting up like this because you're going to face plant, and we don't want that. So making sure that you're pushing with the hands into the floor, keeping the pose quite active. Pushing down with the hips and the sit bones. You're going to walk the hands all the way back. We're going to take them right back behind the sit bones, and again we're going to open up through the chest here. So bringing the shoulder heads back, this might be enough here. If you want to, push into the palms of the hands that are spread wide on the floor, rolling up onto the shin bones, really expanding through that chest. Loading all the way down, we're going to walk the hands forward, come into that forward fold again. Taking the hands all the way back. Pushing into the palms of the hands, rolling the shoulder heads back. Again, feel free to stay here. If you want to lift, pushing into the palms of the hands, lifting onto the shins. Just as far as feels comfortable, taking the head wherever feels comfortable. Releasing down towards the mat last time, taking the palms of the hands forward. Loading the head down. Walking them all the way back. Pushing into the palms of the hands, rolling the shoulder heads back, extending up the sit bones. And releasing down. So bringing the knees to standing, so feet are flat on the floor, feet are hip width apart. We're going to roll down so that we're all the way on our back. So we're going to come into a little bridge pose here. So bringing the feet fairly close in towards your sit bones. You still want to have a little bit of space to come up, but you want to maybe be able to tickle the heels with the fingertips there. I also find that if you take the feet a little bit wider than hip width, you get a little bit more traction on the floor, a little bit more room to lift. So you want to imagine that there's a block. If you've got a block or a cushion, feel free to pop it in between those thighs there. You don't want the thighs to be popping out like this because it's going to put a lot of strain on your back, yeah? Just want to keep the thighs nice and strong, knees point towards the ceiling, feet grounding down into the floor, palms of the hands grounding down into the floor. And then from here we're going to peel the spine all the way up. Coming all the way up onto the shoulders there. Making sure that the hands are alongside the body, palms of the hands are spread nice and wide. Using your arms as your lever. And breathing deeply here. So if you want, you can roll up onto the shoulder head, so you can bring the shoulders, palms of the hands interlaced underneath the shoulders. Can give you a little bit of height, can push into the arms, working into the shoulders here as well. Or you can keep the hands on the floor, whichever feels most comfortable for you. So if you have your hands crossed, just releasing them down by the sides like they were at the start. And then we're going to lower all the way down, so gently coming down one vertebrae at a time. The same way that we went up, we're going to come down. Releasing that down. So bringing the knees in towards the chest. Making yourself really small. If you like, you can bring your head up, bringing your head in towards the knees there. Should feel really nice, just rocking backwards and forwards, releasing any tension into the floor. From here, you're going to take the feet up. So bringing the feet kind of out like you're a little frog. So the feet are splayed out towards the side. And then you're going to bring the hands on the outside, so you're coming on the inside of the thighs, and then grabbing around the outside of the feet here. So this is called happy baby pose because, you know, you can see little babies doing that, and they grab their feet and they're rocking backwards and forwards and they're smiling, because you can't do this pose and not smile. You just feel really nice, feeling all the little bones in the back, just pressing in towards the floor. And only if it feels good, just rocking side to side. So you're really pulling down with those hands on the feet. It should work into the thighs and the hips a little bit. Breathing deeply here. Releasing the hands, we're going to bring the right leg in towards the chest, sending the left leg all the way down towards the mat. We're going to take the left hand, taking it on top of that right knee, on the outer edge of the right knee. Crossing the right knee across the body, coming into a nice easy supine twist here. You can take the right arm out at shoulder height alongside the floor, or you can come into cactus pose and taking the gaze over towards the right. Just trying to keep both shoulders on the floor. It doesn't matter whether your knee touches the floor or not. What's most important is keeping the shoulder heads pressing in down towards the mat. Bringing that right knee in towards the chest. You're going to send it down to meet the left, and then we're going to switch sides. So this time bringing the left knee all the way in towards the chest. And then you're going to cross the left knee over the body, so taking that right hand on the outer edge of that left knee, taking it across the body, extending the left arm out if you've got room, or coming into cactus arms, taking whichever position is accessible to you, depending on space and how it feels in your shoulder, taking the left gaze over towards that left hand. Remembering to breathe really deep here. Usually when we're in twists, we can find the breath is a little bit more constricted. So we need to make a little bit more effort to bring the breath back into the present, lengthening and extending the breath. Bringing the left knee in towards your chest, giving it a squeeze in, and then we're going to send it down to meet the right. So bringing the feet out, feet flopping out to the edges of the mat, bringing the hands down, palms facing up towards the ceiling, coming into Shavasana here. Closing the eyes. Breathing deeply. So breathing in and out through the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just focusing on the breath. So from here we're going to take a big inhale through the nose. And we're going to sigh out through the mouth. Again, we're going to take an inhale through the nose and sign out through the mouth. Last time, inhaling through the nose and sign out through the mouth. So you're going to scrunch the feet up, so scrunching the toes in towards each other, making it really small, and then you're going to release the toes, spreading them as wide as you can. So you're going to scrunch the toes up, bringing them in towards the body and releasing them. Last time, scrunching the toes all the way up and releasing it, giving the toes a little wiggle. We're going to do the same thing with the palms of the hands, so you're going to squeeze the palms of the hands in together, squeeze them as tight as you can, and then you're going to release the hands. Again, inhaling, squeezing everything in, really squeeze, 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 and exhale, releasing it all out. Last time, inhaling, squeezing the palms of the hands, making really tight fists, really squeezing the fingertips in towards the palm of the hand. Squeeze, 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 and release it out. And then just coming to rest. So just bringing the breath back to normal. Making any little adjustments you need to. So for in Shavasana, usually find our shoulders are up at our ears. So relaxing the shoulders down, relaxing the jaw. Breathing deeply. Taking note of all the little contact points of the floor. So the back of the heels, the back of the legs, the backs of the arms, back of the skull. Just feeling everything pressing in towards the floor. Taking a few more breaths. And just enjoying the stillness, enjoying the peace before moving on with your day. So when you're ready, we're going to start to bring a little bit of life back into the body, so we're wriggling the fingers, the toes, extending the arms all the way up, so lengthening out the body, making it really long, seeing how long you can make it. If you can make it longer than your mat, if you can touch the walls of the room. Brilliant. And then bringing the knees in towards the chest, so hugging the knees in, hugging everything in really tight, and then rolling onto whichever side feels comfortable, whether it's left or right. And taking a breath here, so just on your side with the knees hugged in. And then when you're ready, pushing into the palms of the hands, pulling yourself back up to an easy seated position. And all the way up. And if your eyes are still closed, just gently opening them. Then extend the arms all the way up towards the sky, looking up towards those thumbs, bringing the thumbs down on the crown of the head, seat of wisdom, between the eyebrows, the third eye, down to the heart centre, bowing it down towards the earth, beautiful earth, and then coming all the way back up. So thank you all so much for coming to class today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know, send me a message or a comment. It's really good for me to know what you're enjoying, and you know, if you've got any questions, of course, just let me know. So anything like that, any injuries or poses you're not sure you're getting, you know, feel free to send me a picture or just describe it and let me know how you're finding everything. But yeah, I hope that wherever you are, you're having a great day, and I hope you go through the rest of your day and your week and have a wonderful time. So I will see you again soon, and I hope you have a good day.